We are getting ready to go, and it's like an act of Congress to get 5 people in the car on a Saturday morning on a 4th of July. So I've got one in the car. Hi, there she is. There she is. You got your bug net?
Yep.
Here's Kelly. The poor child has been abused all morning. The poor thing. And I think she's starting to feel better, so it's going to be good.
The cat attacked me.
And the cat attacked
He
you.
hurt my arm. I'm bleeding. Here, 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 here.
Which cat attacked you?
Tiger, as I was taking him upstairs.
Oh, yeah?
He was angry. He didn't want to be inside.
Oh, poor buddy.
Inside.
And our darling chickens will be left for one whole day. What are you doing?
Getting ready. I'm packing up the cooler.
What is this you've made?
Well, it's how to get a large amount of ice out of the refrigerator into the cooler without getting it on the floor.
That's awesome.
Isn't it? It works so well.
What you made?
Yeah.
Aren't you proud of yourself?
Just this morning. How to get ready for the trip. Quit buying all that. First stop, bag of ice.
No.
$2.
No.
No.
I love that. We are heading down to Chattanooga, Tennessee to visit my parents, and on the way we're going to stop at a bunch of cemeteries. So we may get 1 video out of this, we might get 4 videos out of this. Tom has set a path down, what was it, honey? Highway?
US 70.
US 70. We're going to hit all the good cemeteries on that road. All the interesting cemeteries on that road, he says.
They're all good. They all serve the function.
Leia's with me in the back. I sit in the back because I can't stand Tom's driving. And it's just better if I stay back here and keep my big mouth shut.
Amen. State of Tennessee on the right, Wilson County on the left, with kind of the road going down 70 to Watertown, which is in the red too.
Okay, here we are. Daddy's giving us some tobacco.
Come here, girls. We are here at Jones Hill Cemetery, and we are looking for 3 monuments. Father and mother. Benjamin Phillips died in 1894. So let's go find him.
Okay,
Phillips and Rakes. R-A-I-K-E-S.
Phillips and Rakes. All right, on your mark, get set, run. Phillips and Rakes.
It has to be a certain kind of Phillips.
I found it!
What?
I found them!
Who?
Benny, Phillips, and Jenny Rakes.
Oh, good. We're here at the parents' graves of Virgil Phillips. His dad is Benny Phillips, born 1854, died after his 40th birthday in 1894. That's going to be important. 1894. He left a widow, Jenny. Here it is, Jenny Rakes. I don't see any other Rakes nearby. So Jenny was buried with her, the husband that made her a widow. And she was 10 years younger than he was, and she died in 1934.
Do you think she remarried because she didn't take his last name?
I'm sure she remarried.
Yeah.
Yes, she did have other children after this by the name Rakes. But the interesting thing is that this is marble. And you can feel how rough it is all the way around. And it's dated 1934. The plinth is marble. That is 1894. It is He died 40 years before her, and that is granite. That is a new monument. In her time, 1934, before then it would have been all marble. This is a new granite monument to her ex-husband, dead husband. Let's go down and find where Virgil himself is buried. So we just moved 4 gravestones down to this new Phillips one. And as you can see, it also is modern granite. You can tell by how it feels, and we're still facing the eastern sun. So let's take a look around on this other side. And there's his name, Virgil H. Phillips, 1893-1956. This is the guy who we're going to go look at, whose limb is buried in another cemetery. Virgil's dad, by the way, down there, Benny, died in 1894. So he was only 1 year old when his dad died. His mom remarried, took another name. I don't see another Rakes around here. Then Virgil married, and this is where he is. Interesting that these are little baby headstones and footstones. So I presume that this is a children's burial area. You can see that the distance in between the headstone and the footstone is only about 4 or 5 feet. And the type of headstone reminds me of the headstones that are really prevalent in Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. So that's interesting. They are all, of course, marble, which means 19th century. And then, of course, here we have a plinth with a downed stone, and this points out the greatest danger, the greatest destroyer of cemeteries, and that is lawnmowers. What they're going to do is come through here with a lawnmower, go right over this, and they're going to keep hitting it until it's worn down. I don't know what to say or do to put this where it would be a little bit safer and out of the way of most lawnmowers.
That's appropriate.
It's appropriate to save gravestones and to get them out of the way of lawnmowers. Some people do this. They take pieces that are broken or have fallen over, and instead of putting them back up or resetting them in the plinth, the base, they just cover it over. I have an ancestor myself who we had to dig down 3 inches to get to his gravestone. So it just accumulates over time. That's one of the things to do, is if you're missing a gravestone and you think it's somewhere, you have the logic of where it's supposed to be, is to look for it underground. That's what we did. That's what my twin brother and I did, was we started checking for gravestones and hit the stone and uncovered Thomas Wenish. So here are down stones that are just being gone over. They're going to be worn down eventually, unless grass comes and covers them up. Let's take a look over here. Look at this stone. So when you say, is it appropriate to do that, move that stone, that's exactly what somebody did here, is instead of laying it down across the burial area, they put it sideways. And there's a good picture. Oh, what a beautiful picture of a weeping willow. Lucy Young, born 1815, died 1878. Another thing that we do when we come through here is check the orientation, orient meaning east, check the orientation of the cemetery. And right now, that is north, and that is east. And of course, it is, what time? It is 8:45 in the morning, so sun rose over there. It came up to this point, and that is east, due east, well, just a little bit short of due east. at 8:45 in the morning, presuming that burials happened between 9 and 12 on morning. There are no head and shoulders gravestones here. It's all rectangular, vertical, horizontal. Some of them are peaked, the ones that we looked at before, tri-peaked, but mostly rectangular. There's no outstanding cross here at all. Usually you see overt signs of Christianity with these rural Baptist places, but really you look across here, there's no cross, there's no crosses on the stones. Something to be remarked when people are writing about the history of a cemetery. Something that we'll talk about in the future is how class is exhibited, how you find class, upper class, lower class, early and old, young and old, in cemeteries like this. You look around and say, what are the tallest monuments and how much money did those families have? So here we have a Jones family. Here we have a Jones family with lots of money. We are at the Hearn Cemetery, which is about 2 miles, I'd say 2-3 miles down the road from Watertown. This is still technically Watertown, but down the road 70 from where we were at Jones.
Are we busting in?
Yep, we're busting in. Okay.
Did they find it already?
Yep, they found it already.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, we've been here before.
Oh, okay.
So here's Luck. Look at the tall monument that Luck has.
Is that money?
Money here. And here's another big one. This is marble. So this is the gravestone of V.H. Phillips limb. It says limb, L-I-M-B, limb of V.H. Phillips. We saw V.H. Phillips' body burial, his regular burial, with supposedly his wife back over there in the Jones Cemetery in Watertown. With our 4 gravestones down is his mom and dad. So child, mom and dad in that cemetery, and here we have the limb of V.H. Phillips. This looks like concrete, could be marble, but this is granite, gray granite. That's nice polished granite. That's marble. This is concrete. So let's go and see what the date is on this concrete. So this is a poured concrete box tomb of T.M. Lawrence, born 1857, died 1922. And given that this is concrete and that's concrete, I'm thinking that they were at some point around a 10-year, 20-year window around each other. 1922, so I'm going to be looking for an accident that happened to Mr. Phillips before and after the 1922 focus, and see if we can find something in the local record. But that's one way of dating things, is to find something similar, weathered the same way, and these are similar weather patterns. So, and concrete. Interesting how much granite is here, and how you can see the outstanding marble markers. So marble markers denoting the 19th century, and granite, of course, the 20th century.
What'd you find, Callie?
Black moss.
What is it?
It's black moss.
So cool. It's a light. It's actually a lichen. I think it's a kind of lichen. We'll look it up, okay? We'll see if we can figure it out. I'll get a picture of where you found it too. Let's go ahead.
So many of these 19th and 20th century ones are square and rectangular shapes, oftentimes with a point, some other kind of stylized point. It's in the late 20th, early 21st that they get rounded or change shapes. Pointed ones, really phallic imagery there, over there, and then this one, which is a tree trunk. This is the only marker of its kind in this whole cemetery, and it is a chopped off tree. Somebody who's killed, somebody who died, whatever, but the death and then the marker is, I'm trying to see, oh there it is.
So that's what I've seen these chopped off trees before, and that's what it symbolizes?
Also the group is Woodmen of the World.
Oh.
And there are other acronyms.
So they're carpenters?
No, it was a fraternal organization that people could belong to. They would pay a monthly fee, and it was kind of an insurance policy for their burial.
Okay.
And when they would be buried, they'd get a marker and their name put on it and the funeral paid for.
All right.
Which was, a sizable expense to anybody. So come around to this side, a Woodman of the World memorial, and you can see here, hardly, really faintly, 3 links of chain and then a hanging board that describes who it is. J. E. Young, born 1871, died 1914, and then the name down there. So that's the only one in this whole area. I expect somewhere else that there's another large group of them because they don't exist by themselves. It's a fraternity. So other cemeteries will find them around here. So back here we have limb of V.H. Phillips. We have a concrete box tomb or mausoleum. And then if you pan this way, we see 2 shorter gravestones, marble, of, well, they're short and they have sheep on top of them, actually lambs. These are children's gravestones. You can see how short they are, and you can see that from that footstone, or from that these are short graves. Up there you can't see very well, but there's another one. Usually they have a section for children or, around a family, but there are scattered through here, although I can only see 3 at the moment, children's monuments. But that's what the child is, Lamb of God, and suffer the little children to come unto me. Well, that's it for the Hearn family cemetery.
Here we go. On the road again.
On the road again. And this is unique because it's the only one. Ouch! Sharp stuff. Plants.
It's what you get for wearing flip-flops.
You never know if it's a snake or not.